Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Best Builds video. So, 3 more camps again today, and we've got a range of different styles and areas here, so looking forward to diving into this one. So, let's get cracking, shall we? Okay, camp number 1. We're down in the Cranberry Bog here, and it's a bit dark, which I think is now more down to a weather machine than anything else. Cranberry Bog Crimson build from Not Pinky Toe. And this is a fun little camp. I quite like how this one has been set up. We've got an existing structure here, a tumble-down, fallen-over monorail tower, which is quite cool. Didn't even know this place was here, but this person's managed to build under it quite nicely and created quite a small, compact little camp with a couple of strange bits, I have to admit, but some really, really good use of what's already here, the existing structure, and it blends in quite well. Almost looks like it was always meant to be there, which is quite impressive, really. So, one of the slight drawbacks we do have out here is we've got quite a few things just sitting on the bare earth, which inevitably means they end up floating in a bit of a weird way. I do like the scrap box on the forklift though, that's cool. Definitely a nice touch. Let's run up to the top there if you want to. Swing around the trees at the back. Not sure if these are an addition from the player or they're already in place. I think they might actually be player added looking at them, which is cool. They look very natural, so quite impressive if that's the case. A little bit of extra boarding out the back, big old window, which is good, and then we've got the porch out front. Red Rocket collector on there, unfortunately a little bit on the floaty side, what can you do? Dressing up the front edge of the foundations there with some, these are kind of driftwood style, plank partitions they're called, that's the name that was getting away from me. Well, they're basically junk walls, aren't they? For myself, I would have mixed up the ones I'd used different textures and stuff, make it a bit more organic, but to each their own. And there's also several vendors scattered around this camp, which seems a little odd, because you've got the workbenches in some odd places, in my view, and the internal space, sort of the interior of the house, for want of a better way of putting it, is not used in the way at least I would have gone for, which I suppose is fine, it's not my camp, but yeah, I might have done that a little bit differently. The effect is really, really cool, the structure is particularly cool, and it's nice and compact and works really well. Yeah, having the workbenches out here looks good, like that. I'd maybe have moved a few more up here so they're not on the ground outside. Run for a little bit more in the clutter and decoration maybe, but the vibe is definitely there. What I don't fully understand is why there are vendors outside, and then the inside space here is a mixture of living room and vendor space. But there's no bed, which would look an odd choice to me. You could do all manner of interesting things down that route if you wanted to, squeezing beds in and improvising things and merging stuff to create interesting beds and make the whole thing more improvised. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice, this. It is cool though. I like the location, I like the idea. And it's all come together quite nicely. Just a couple of strange choices to me. Which is fine, it's not my camp, is it? Yeah, I like the lighting as well. It kind of draws the eye, draws you in. Not a particularly anonymous camp, but they don't all have to be. I've got a long line of corn there, presumably marking the edge of the camp or something. I don't know. It's an interesting place to put it. And yeah, lots of little bits of decoration and detail on the top as well, and all the flashing lights give a really striking come visit kind of look to the outer edge of the camp. I'm definitely quite impressed. There's a couple of cool bits on the top as well. A Neapolitan sign is paving a bit weird with the concrete of the monorail tower though. Still, good effort. Camp number 2 at the northern end of Skyline Valley here. We've got a nice lookout and use of the forest lookout towers here, which is really cool. And this one comes from Tanis, I believe we would pronounce that. And I've picked this one in particular because I like the way it blends a couple of different elements. This lookout tower is a cool prefab, but it always feels like it needs a bit more. I mean, you could just set it up and move in, but if you want to have functional camp and workbenches and stuff, then you need to do a little bit more with the lower levels, I feel, otherwise it just feels unfinished. And in this case, I've done some very, very cool stuff. So really, really impressive job of matching up the foundations here, making everything fit. It fits together even more impressively than I would have expected, which is really, really cool. And we've got the pavilion stuff, obviously matches the wood pretty well on the lookout, so it's a really good addition as well and creates a fairly cohesive finished effect. I like the glass roofs here. I do find it a bit odd to put a roof over your crops, though. I get that it's letting light in, but wouldn't you want the rain to come in? Just me, but cool nonetheless. I would like to see a bit more just sort of clutter and stuff scattered around. You know, scrap stash boxes for, you know, boxes and storage just lying around, things like that. Various bits of clutter. Of course, this person may only have a limited amount of stuff available. We don't know how long they've been playing, of course. But there's a couple of bits there that they've got the right idea on. Just needs a tad more, I think. But we've got a nice little crafting space over on the other side that works with the rest of the layout as well. Although it does have that grill kind of a roof, the one with the holes in it that comes with the pavilion kit. And yeah, effectively no roof over your workbenches, but a roof over your crops seems like an odd way around. I'd have flipped that personally, but still. That's just me. Nice little table in there, cooking station in the living space, also keep you nice and warm, or at least a bit warmer. It's probably a bit drafty with all the broken windows. But they've squeezed a lot of cool stuff in here. Got the bed tucked in, got... interesting to see the sort of cabinets that they're putting around the bed. Really kind of envelopes the bed quite nicely there. Bit of a tight squeeze through the door with the cooking station there, but it works. And then using the plank partitions again to board up the glass, well, the broken glass on the tower. Looks quite nicely. Although we do get left with a really nice view over Skyline Valley on this side of the camp and the structure as well, which is really cool. Definitely a picturesque location. I think that's a good word for it. Let's swing around the other side. We see on the northern side, facing the Savage Divide, we've got a little more fortification, which looks good. And mixing up the structures there, mixing up the choice of panels, I suppose, looks quite nicely. Full set, I think, on display there around those two sides. Cool. Lots of little details as well as we look around up here, which is cool. I'm wondering a little bit now whether or not they might have run out of build budgets. That might explain an awful lot, because there's quite a lot of detail up here. And the structure is reasonably large, so that may explain a few things. Yeah, you can see that roof there, the one that basically lets the rain straight through, that is over the workbenches. Strange to me. Cool builds, but a couple of strange choices. But that's fine, to each their own. Yeah, I really like the aesthetic of this. I like the way it all ties together with using this same style of wood with the pavilion and the tower there. And it looks like a pretty cohesive build, which is really, really cool. Camp number 3, last one for the day. This one is down at the bottom of the Savage Divide, right next to RG Station. It's a garage, a mechanic shop from Updated Data, I think that's supposed to say. And it's got a lot of likes, and with good reason. It's a really, really cool, complete-looking build. Don't say it looks exactly pre-war, but that's more because of the kits used, I think, than anything else. But it does look like a really cool structure, and it's interesting, and it's got a lot of character to it, which I definitely like to see. That roof is interesting. I'm pretty sure it came from one of the premium bundles that you could buy a while back, around about the launch of Expeditions, initially, when the pit first dropped. So... definitely a cool look there, I think. So, nice little garage, kind of clean, maybe a bit too clean for me. I like the use of the foundations outside that kind of put the transition between the road and the structures quite nicely. The whole thing feels cohesive and natural there, like the dirt's blown in. Coming in to the reception sort of shop part of the garage, this looks really, really cool. Lots and lots of plants. Definitely a few plants I need to pick up there, I think. They've done a nice job of this, make it look nice and welcoming. This wallpaper I normally wouldn't choose because it's too clean for my taste, but I'm thinking it works here. I definitely like it, and we've got the forager sat there as a mechanic because he definitely has the right vibe for that. He definitely looks the part. Moving into the midsection, a whole bunch of different wallpapers used. It still ties together because they're all quite clean. Little bedroom tucked into what would, I don't know, maybe it was originally a storeroom, this. I feel like it's more along those lines. You know, like it's been adapted to be a living space rather than originally intended. Which is cool though. I'm going to close up a few doors for them. Yeah, little bits of detail and decor around. I'd like to know, is this a snow globe stand display unit, or is this just some clever merging going on, or what? Because I'm not sure how those were put on display. It looks too neat to be a merge job, to be honest. If it was something like chessboards, they'd be sticking out, wouldn't they? It looks cool anyway. And we have a really nice little bathroom here. Really compact and really quite clean. Curtains are a bit weird in a bathroom, to my eye. But, yeah, nice job there. Looks very clean and not much room by the toilet either. You've not got a lot of elbow room in there. You have to keep your elbows tucked in. But still, cool. There's some really cool bits and pieces in this garage as well. I'm guessing that shelter entrance has been merged down onto the rug. And that's how they've done that. Interesting approach. Not really necessary. You can just take the foundation out, put the utility room entrance in and then just put the foundation right back again. And it'll snap through as a trapdoor, which looks really cool. But it works there. It looks like they've used this sort of concealed roof space to put their generator up top as well, which works nicely. Nice and clean and sort of homely and tidy vibe on that workshop. Which is usually the opposite way I go. I usually go for the workshop is a mess. But it's cool. It looks really, really good. And some extra benches outside that don't make sense in a mechanic shop, I suppose. If they're brewing right next to where the fuel and the engine oil is, that's probably not for the best. Same with the cooking station. I really like that minecart cooking station, but it is hard to justify sometimes. So we'll head out down the stairs, have a look at the back side here. Got a couple of really cool shelter entries on this one, and the camp owner is clearly trying to encourage us into their shelters. My feelings on shelters have been well established by this point. I'm not the biggest fan, and from a purely video standpoint, they really add to the time. So we're going to skip over that, but as a build, I'm really quite impressed with the outside of this, and this shelter entrance structure, which is really quite simple, really, but works really nicely as a kind of, you're heading down the stairs into an underground location vibe. I think it's a really, really cool job. Even the car out front there, just abandoned on the road. It doesn't look out of place. Kind of blends in nicely. As does the Red Rocket vendor on the front as well. Goes with the colour scheme and the roller door as well. Looking really, really cool. So, there we go. 3 awesome best builds. I hope you guys got some inspiration, some ideas, and liked having a look around those builds. If you did, please consider dropping subs and likes. We've got a whole load more of these on the channel already, and more to come as well. And more builds coming as well, and a whole lot more content too. So, yeah, keep it here if you'd like to. Notification bell, and like, subs, all that good stuff. Social media links in the description if you want to keep up to date with what's going on over there. And join us for live streams as well. We are playing, of course, 76, and then we've got a whole load of other games on the go as well. Atomfall and Tainted Grail and a few other bits and pieces too. So, yeah, lots to check out. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.